Good morning and welcome student of class 7. We have already discussed chapter 2 of your board book obviously, that is ratio, and we completed our that lesson chapter 2 already. So today we start chapter 3. Chapter 3 is nothing but the related with the previous chapter obviously. This is proportion. Roughly we study about ratio and proportion together obviously. In your book it is two different chapter. Chapter 2 that is ratio and chapter 3 is proportion. So what is proportion? What is the meaning of proportion? Roughly speaking, proportion means the equality of two ratios. Equality of two ratios are called proportion. I repeat once again. Equality of two ratios known as proportion. That means if two ratios are equal, then we can conclude these are in proportion. These are in proportion. Here we take an example. In 3 days, you can work out 48 sums. In 3 days, you can work out 45 sums, and in 6 days you can work out 90 sums. So these are in proportion or not? Just check it yourself. First find the ratio of number of days. Find the ratio of the number of days. Ratio of number of days. Is how much? 3 and 6. That means 3 is to 6, which is in simplified form. Dividing by 3 both, we get 1 is to 2. The ratio of number of days is 3 is to 6. We have to calculate when we find the ratio. Ratio means this quantity must be same unit. It must be same unit. Then we can find the ratio. So number of days both are in days. So we can find the ratio. And excuse me, you can work out 45 sums and 90 sums. So therefore the ratio of number of sums is to 90. Now in simplified form, dividing by 45, this is 1 and this is 2. 45 into 2 is 90. So this is again 1 is to 2. Therefore these are in proportion. If equality of two ratios known as proportion by the definition, so these are in proportion. Obviously this proportion is direct proportion obviously. So we can conclude that 3 is to 6, that is equals to 45 is to 90. Both are the same. So we can conclude 3 is to 6, that is equals to 45 is to 90. That means these are in proportion. Therefore these are in proportion. Okay. There are two types of proportion. One is direct proportion, another is inverse proportion, not indirect. For your simplicity we write indirect here. Direct proportion and inverse proportion. Okay. Direct means if two quantities, say x and y, if x is increases, then y is also increases, then it is direct. And if x is increases and y is decreases, then it is known as inverse. Okay. If x is increases, y is also increases, then it is known as direct proportion. And if x is increases, then y is decreases, two quantity obviously, then it is known as inverse proportion. Okay.
No.
Next, question number 1A of your book, page number 35. Let us do ourselves. 3.1. Let's find the pair of ratio which given below are equal. Also find the fourth members in the proportion. Find the four members are in proportion. Number 1 is given 7:2 and 28:8. 7:2 and 28:8. If we write these things, or in other way, if we write these things also, that is equals to nothing but 7/2. Multiplying both numerator and denominator by 4, then we can write this is 28 and this is 8. So this is nothing but, we can write this, it's also 28:8. So obviously these four are in proportion. These four numbers are in proportion. And 1E, if we take 1E, these are given 3AB is to 4AQ. Sorry, yes, 4AQ. And 6B is to 8Q. Now, if we write from this, 3AB is to 4AQ means 3AB by 4AQ. So obviously AA cancel out, then we can write this is 3B by 4Q. Sorry. Now, if we multiplying both numerator and denominator by 2, then what happens? 3B into 2, 4Q into 2. That is, this is 6B and it will be 8Q. Clear? So this is nothing but 6B is to 8Q. That means that things. So these are also in proportion. Clear? Next, sum number 2. The length and breadth of a rectangular figure is 10 cm and 6 cm respectively. 10 cm and 6 cm respectively. The length and breadth of the figure are increased by 2 cm. Then find if the ratio of length and breadth remains same or not. Okay. Question number 2 of your book. The length and breadth of a rectangular figure. Ten centimeter and 6 centimeter respectively. Therefore, ratio of length and breadth 10:6, that can be put in this form 5:3. Now it is given if length and breadth both increase by 2 cm. So if length and breadth increase by 2 cm, Then the length how much? Initially 10 plus 2, that is 12 centimeter, and the breadth initial 6 plus 2, so 8 centimeter. Now the ratio. New ratio of length and breadth. How much? 12 is to 8. That can be put in this form. Dividing by 4. 3 is to 2. Which is not equal to 5 is to 3. 5 by 3 is not equal to 3 by 2. So these are not in proportion. These are not in proportion. If length and breadth increase by 2 centimeter, then these two are not in proportion. But if the question is, if length is double and breadth is double, then these are in proportion or not? Then it is in proportion. How? If length and breadth will be double, then what happens? If twice the length, the previous 10, so it will be 10 into 2, then it is 20 centimeter, and the breadth 6 into 2, that is 12 centimeter. Then the ratio 20 is to 12, that is nothing but dividing by 4, we get 5. Then these are in proportion. If we multiply by 2, then these are in proportion. But if increase by 2 or 3, it may or may not be in proportion. In generally, it is not in proportion. Not in general. Question number 3 as your homework. Classwork. Question number 3 as your classwork. Solve it. Try to solve. Okay. Next, if 4 numbers are given A, B, C, D, we have to check these 4 numbers are in proportion or not. That means we have to check A is to B is equals to C is to D. That means A is to B, that is equals to C is to D. This means A by B, that is equals to C by D. Now from this we can write in this way, multiplying these two and multiplying these two, A into D, that is equals to B into C. That is nothing but this is the first term, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. First term into fourth term, first term into fourth term is equal to second term into third term. Then we can conclude these 4 numbers are in proportion. A, B, C, D, 4 numbers. Instead of A, B, C, D, we can write X, Y, Z, T also. First into fourth, that is equals to second into third. Then we can conclude these are in proportion. Like that, if it is given 4 numbers 5, 10, 7 and 14, let us take 5, 10, 7 and 14. These are in proportion or not? If we use this formula, then first term is 5, fourth term is 14. So 5 into 14, how much? 70. And the second term and the third term, that means 10 into 7, how much? 70. So we can conclude 5, 10, 7 and 14 are in proportion. Okay. Therefore we can conclude these are in proportion. first term into fourth term is equal to second term into third term. Or if we write in this way also, in other way also, if we find the ratio between these two, 5:10, that is 5/10, that can be written as 1:2. And these two, ratio of these two, 7:14, that is again 7/14, that is equals to 1/2, that is 1:2. So these ratios are also equal. So we can conclude these are in proportion. Next, let us verify these are in proportion or not. Problem number 3. Let us verify whether 14, 5, 10 and 7 are in proportion or not. First term into fourth term. 14 into 7, how much? 98. 5 into 10, 50. Obviously these are unequal. So 14, 5, 10 and 7 are not in proportion. Are not in proportion. Okay. Clear to all of you? Next, we study about continued proportion. Continued proportion. Continued proportion. 3 numbers, say, first we take 3, A, B and C are in continued proportion if A is to B is equal to B is to C. A is to B is equal to B is to C. That means, or we can write, A by B is equal to B by C, or A into C is equal to B into B, that means B square. A into C, that is equals to B square. Clear? That means first term into third term, 3 terms, first term into third term, that is equals to second term square. Square of the second term. Then we can conclude these 3 in continued proportion. Check whether these 3 numbers, say 5, 10 and 20. 5, 10 and 20. These 3 are in continued proportion or not? Using this first term is 5, second term 10, third term 20. So if you use this first term into third term, that means 5 into 20, how much? 100. And second term square, that means 10 square. 10 square is equal to 100. That means 5, 10 and 20 are in continued proportion. 5, 10 and 20 are in continued proportion. These three numbers are in continued proportion. Now this table 3.4, do it ourselves. Very easy. This table is given. The three numbers in continued proportion. First problem, 5, 10 and star. Express this as proportion. If we express this in proportion, that means 5 is to 10. 10 is to how much? We have to find out this number. Express in fraction form, 5 by 10 is equal to 10 by, we have to find out this. And positive value of the missing term, obviously this. Okay. So, three numbers are in continued proportion. Suppose this is x. Suppose this term is x. 5 is to, that means 5, 10 and x. These three are in continued proportion. Just previous formula, product of the extreme, first term into third term, middle one square. That means 5x is equal to 100. So x is equal to both sides dividing by 5. 100 divided by 5, that is 20. So missing number is nothing but 20. Just previous example. This is also 20. This is also 20. Okay. And last final answer is also 20. Same things. The fourth number, one is 25 star 81. So we have to find out this star. How? Exactly as before. This is nothing but, suppose missing number is x. So 25, x and 81. So three numbers are in continued proportion. That means product of the extremes, that means first term and third term, is equal to square of the middle term or x square of the second term. Is it? So if we write in this way, x square, middle square, 25 into 81. Obviously we take positive square root here. So x square is 5 square into 9 square. So x is equal to 5 into 9, that is 45. Taking positive sign. So missing number is 45. Okay. So express in ratio form, that means 25 is to 45. Just then 45 is to 81. In ratio form, 25 by 45 is equal to 45 by 81. Both are same. If we dividing by 5, so it will be 5 is to 9. If we dividing by 9, then it is 5 is to 9. And last column is easy. The number is, if we find this, the number is nothing but 45. So this table is very easy. So your classwork, complete this table and send it to me. Complete this table and send it to me. So we know what is continued proportion, direct proportion, inverse proportion, etc. And what is proportion we have already known. So your classwork 3.4, the table 3.4, do it ourselves, page number 41. Do it now and send it to me. Clear? From next class we start exercise 3. Or today one problem already done? Yes or no? Okay. In next class. From next class we solve exercise 3, obviously. Clear? So what is proportion? After ratio we know what is proportion. Proportions means nothing but, if we roughly speaking, proportion is nothing but equality of two ratio. There are inverse proportion, direct proportion. Inverse proportion means if one is increases, other things is also decreases, then it is inverse proportion. If one things is increases, then the other things is also increases, then it is known as direct proportion. Next we study about continued proportion. If three numbers are in continued proportion, and previous 4 terms A, B, C, D are in proportion. A, B, C, D are in proportion means A into D is equal to B into C. This is the one things. And other things, if A, B, C are in continued proportion, then we can conclude A into C is equal to B square. These are continued proportion, and this is 4 number are in proportion. Okay, we have already discussed these things. So in next class we start again the problems of this chapter, that is exercise 3. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.